I joined ASA because I needed a club to join, and it was ASA, African Student Association, and I felt like I would bring me closer to like people on campus that are also Africans as well.
One, I'm African. I joined it. Well, I went to BSU meetings before, and then I heard about ASA, and I thought it would be cool because, like, I don't know, there's not from where I grew up, there wasn't that many Africans, and so I wanted to do something that was more, I don't know, directed to me, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I was born in Nigeria and I was also raised there for like 10 years. And University of Maryland is a really diverse place with a lot of people. So I felt like joining ASA would help me be a part of something small in a large university and like get in touch with my roots, I guess.
I think that's really an important organization just because when we go to ASA, we all learn a lot more. We learn about other cultures and like other African cultures, and we also get to like meet different Africans that I probably wouldn't have met outside of ASA.
I mean, it brings all the African people together, and then also like Black Americans and Caribbean people also come to the meetings, and even white people come to the meetings. So, I mean, I guess.
Definitely, because a lot of countries, like a lot of African countries, are represented at ASA. There's a lot of Ethiopians, Nigerians, of course, Ghanaians, Cameroonians, just a lot of different cultures, and it shows how diverse the university is.
Even though a lot of the members are Nigerian, I think that it doesn't really set back the goal because there's still other like varieties of Africans. Like in the beginning of every meeting, the president like will say an African country and everyone will cheer. And like even if there's still a lot more Nigerians, we still appreciate the other countries that are there, and we still try to make sure like everyone's included.
Yes and no. Um, a lot of the countries of Africa are represented in ASA, and I know like in the beginning of our meetings we always like call out our countries or whatever. And Nigeria is always the biggest, and like I don't know, I feel like it's become almost like a joke, like oh those Nigerians or whatever. But I mean people still represent where they're from, and even though it's a large population of the the group, we still come together as all Africans.
Yes, definitely. Like out of any African country, Nigerians are definitely number one in ASA meetings. I mean, there are other countries, but definitely Nigerians.
I didn't join BSU because their meetings was on Monday and I had to work on Monday, so ASA was a lot easier to actually go to the meetings.
I heard about it from my friend who's a sophomore who goes here. I also heard about it through Twitter, um, and just like I don't know, chalking I guess, like people talking about it. Yeah, more Nigerian people. Hey.
We've had a lot of I know we've had a lot of food drives, I think, and we've also done the ASA ball, which was really fun, and I think this weekend we're also doing a Christmas party for um, underprivileged kids at a certain school, and there are other events that I don't really remember.
Things that are culturally the same, I guess, against like all of the African people, because like for programming we had to like pick out food and things like that, and so like we had to like pick things that like I don't know were typical African foods or something that like everyone would like to eat. Um, yeah, we did a lot of decoration stuff, but that wasn't relevant to culture. So
Well, I do feel like I've gotten really involved, but I have like other obligations sometimes when the meetings are planned, so I'm not as involved as I would like to be. but like definitely next semester I would like be like a member, like have a leadership position, hopefully. And while BSU, I just feel like ASA is more closer to home than BSU is. Like I consider myself, I don't know, I guess more African than African American. So joining ASA was a better decision for me than joining BSU.
In the beginning of the meetings, they always talk about like there's like a country of the week, or they talk about like things going on in Africa that we need to talk about or discuss, and we have like a topic, and so those are really like the messages that people want to get out during every week, and it's not just like afterwards they had like the lecture part, I guess, and they have a discussion. The discussion part, everyone always starts to joke around, but like like it's actually serious problems that we talk about. So at the end of the day, that should be the part that people take home, that we should be able to like do something about it, not just like sit here and joke about it type things, because like it's African culture. But, yeah.
I think we do a pretty good job. We always try to include other clubs to come to our ASA meetings and tell us more about what they're doing, so that like if they tell us their times that they meet, like some of us can actually go to their clubs, or they can just come to our ASA meetings just to learn some more things.
Okay, well, I was born in Nigeria. I was raised in Nigeria for like half my life, and like my parents are like African, so I was in the U.S. We still like practice our African cultures and everything. So I don't really know the African American way of life because I was raised as a Nigerian. Well, I think we were all raised differently. Like the African Americans, their parents always told them, "Oh, you're African American. You're raised this way. Don't do this. Don't do that." And apparently, like some African Americans, parents tell their kids, "Don't marry African people because that's the number one like race I don't want you to marry." And yeah, and Africans tell the same thing to their kids: "Don't marry an African American, or you're gonna get like disowned." And I think that, I don't know, I just guess because we have different cultures. Like, they were here, like, since birth, and we just, I guess, just came here. I really, I think different experiences, pretty much. And just different cultures, or like two different races, but not really.
I think one of the main, like the biggest difference is like the whole issue of respect. I feel like most African parents like have taught like their children to be really respectful to their elders. People, even if like you're, like for me, if like I have a older aunt who's only a couple years older than me, I still show her respect that I would show like my grandmother. I feel like Africans have like instilled that in most African children to always be respectful, even if someone's just like a year older than you. But with, I guess African Americans do that as well, but there's less of respect, especially towards parents. Like I have some friends who, the way they talk to their parents, I could never ever do that with my parents. And I feel like respect is one of the, like the biggest thing that like you can always see as a difference between an African or African American.
I think it's okay. I've only been to one meeting like last 2 years ago, so I can't really. I guess it's good. It brings like the Africans together, so I guess it's good in that sense.
Yeah. So you think it makes the campus a more diverse place?
No,
No.
no. I think that kind of it works against it because
No, that's
okay, ASA is more like NSA, which is like full of Nigerians, so it's like it's not really like African, like it's just Nigerian, and then like everyone else kind of. So a lot of Africans don't go to it because it's primarily Nigerian, and they run it, and it's basically like everything Nigerian. So yeah.
African Student Association. I heard of it. I have a friend that's in it, but no, I don't.
work.
Because like that tends to happen. Like one group takes.
Over. That's exactly what happened.
But-
There's nothing wrong. I don't have a problem
Yeah.
against Nigerians. I'm just. This is just what I like generally have noticed and I've heard and like in passing and stuff like that. I don't really go to ASA because I feel like it's a waste of my time. So it's just like not a waste of my time, but just like I have other things to do. But I just like what I've heard from people. This is just how like people feel in general. Like that. It's run by.
Well, yeah, I guess like you have multiple cultures here on campus, so it's like it's another opportunity for you to like get to know about different culture other than your own. So it's like, I guess.